And here is LeBron James. How does it feel to know that if you're not eventually a Hall of Fame caliber player, it's not good enough to be good or an all-star, if you're not eventually a first-rank Hall of Famer, a lot of people will say you were a bust or overhyped.
How does that make me feel?
Yeah.
Well, I don't look at it as looking into the future. I always go by, I take every moment at a time, because you're not promised tomorrow. And that's what my mom brought me up on, and I always say that I just try to get better every day at what I do.
Here's the upside. Akron, where you grew up, is a short drive from Cleveland. You're with the hometown team. Here's the downside. The hometown team was 17-65 last year. That's why they're in the lottery, and that's why they're going to debut.
And that's why I say I can make an instant impact, because I don't think you can get any worse from the kind of season they had last year. But I think my competitive drive and my willingness to win is going to make them a lot better.
You're going to experience more losing the first year in the NBA than you have to this point in your life.
We'll see. We're going to see.
You know what?
No one knows yet.
If the Cavs are 500 next year, you will be as good as advertised, and you'll still lose 40 games.
Yeah, that's no. In the Eastern Conference, you can lose 40 games and make the playoffs.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
In fact, Michael Jordan would have taken that last year with the Wizards.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're more important to your franchise than the coach or any of your teammates, how coachable will you be, and how much of a team player will you be?
That's not a question I never heard before. You know, everyone has always said that I was better than everybody else. But I have managed to be level-headed and still be a team player and still be coachable and still be there to listen to everybody that has anything to say. There's no problem with me listening to everything. That don't mean I'm going to use it, but at least they know I'm listening.
You've shown a pretty good head for business so far, with Nike paying you more than $90 million over the course of the deal, even though you'll get millions of dollars from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Is your first allegiance to the Cavs in the NBA or to Nike?
You know, that's kind of a tough question, you know, because right now my family is Nike, because I don't have an NBA team right now at this moment. But, you know, once you get into the organization, I'm a team player. You know, once I get into the organization with the Cavs and get to know my teammates and coaches, I think it's going to be 50-50.
All I know is if he's half as good as all I've heard about him, he is going to be one special athlete.
Do you think there was any validity when people said, this is distorting the high school experience? You traveled in a way that high school teams don't, all around the country for marquee matchup games. Some of the games were on pay-per-view. Some of the games got moved outside the high school arena because the demand for tickets was so great. This is an uncommon high school experience.
You know, I think sometimes I'm not trying to put a burden on my back or say that they're wrong for saying that, but I think that if they had the opportunity to do the same, I think most of them would.
Your mom bought you a Hummer.
I love it.
Base price $50 grand, and who knows what it was worth with all the options.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to me that with the amount of money that was soon to come to you, any bank would have given your mom the loan for it, because they knew that she's good for it in the future, and it's probably a wise business decision to establish that relationship early. I would have fired the loan officer if he denied her. But here's a question that crossed my mind. I'm the father of a son not much younger than you. One of the big concerns is when a kid gets behind the wheel. And you think about a car like that with all the bells and whistles, the stereo system, the TV, and everything else. I'd be concerned about the safety factor when teenagers get into a car like that and the distractions.
I'm a good driver, so I don't worry about all the distractions. I didn't put the TVs in for me to watch, because when I'm driving, there's no way I can watch TV and also drive at the same time. Those are for the people who get in, as my friends. And, you know, I'm a good driver, so I don't have nothing to worry about.
Your mom raised you pretty much by herself. There was a man named Eddie Jackson in your life that you've called your surrogate father, but your mom was a teenage mother, unmarried. What's the first thing you want to do for your mom now that the money is coming in?
I told her I was going to buy her a house with some grass. I think that's going to be the first thing I do for her, a house with some grass and whatever she needs. You know, everything that she needs, I'll be there to give it to her.
Paul Silas is one of the most respected figures in the NBA. He happens to be a black man, but that's not the key point. He's not just any black guy. He's a fatherly type figure. He's been around the league for a long time. He's highly respected. You grew up without a father. Your biological father was not in the picture. It seems to me not coincidental that Paul Silas was the choice to coach a team that would soon have LeBron James.
You know, growing up, I grew up with a mother. And my mother was my mother and my father. And now, you know, I have that the thing that not growing up without a father never really put me down to where I couldn't reach my potential. And now that I'm moving on to Coach Silas, hopefully he's going to be a good father figure to me on the court, off the court, and a good coach on the court and off the court.
What sometimes happens to people who become very successful in athletics or entertainment, if they have a parent whom they haven't known throughout their life or they've disappeared, that parent resurfaces when the fame and the money comes in. First of all, do you know your biological father's whereabouts?
No, not really. But, you know, I'm not really even concentrating on that because I really have my father and my mother all tied up in one. And that's Gloria James. I don't, you know, at this point, I don't really need nobody else.
And there have been various stories that your biological father may be in prison. He may, in fact, be dead. He may have been shot some 10 years ago. Do you have a curiosity about that?
No, that never really crosses my brain because the friends and family that I have now is awesome. I couldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade him in for the world. And when I'm with my friends all the time, that takes my mind off everything. And another thing, when I step on that hardwood, that's like another home for me too. So I'm in a whole nother zone.
So if this guy is still around and if eventually he shows up, have you thought about how that might go?
No, I never really thought about it.
You feel like it's not part of your life?
No, it's not part of my life. I think my life is in the right direction right now, and nothing is going to change it.
What are your thoughts right now about what fame and money can mean in terms of temptation and how you'll resist it?
You know, fame is nothing new to me. It's nothing new to me. I done had sold out gyms since my freshman year in high school. So the fame and the glory and all them things is not going to make me big-headed. You know, I know how to stay level-headed.
Something that happens to a number of young athletes is this, and it starts with an admirable intention. I'm not going to forget where I came from. I'm going to take care of the guys I grew up with. And pretty soon they got an entourage around them. You know, guys that get $50,000 a year to bring their car around the front, that sort of thing. And that's not the healthiest situation, yet you want to be generous. How do you balance it?
Well, around my house, around my town, all my friends, they all good. My 4 best friends all got college scholarships. They not just on my tail asking for anything. I'm making sure that they work. They making sure that they work for what they're going to get because I work to get where I'm at. So they're going to also have to do the same.
It's easy to forget with all the money and the adulation. You're a kid. You're a kid. What do you like to do? And given the opportunities that you have now, what would you most like to do?
I love to play basketball. That's my life. I love to play basketball. When I'm on the court, it put a smile on my face and hang with my friends. You know, most of my friends play basketball. So we love doing that and play video games. We play video games too. But we play basketball and video games also.
Which are your favorite video games? And are you good?
Am I good?
Yeah.
I'm the best ever. I'm the best ever to play video games. Madden 2003 and NBA Live 2003. You know, ask everybody around my hometown. They'll tell you.
Are you one of those guys who makes up your own team?
No, I play with everybody. I play with everybody. You know, I think my competitive drive carries on to them games also because I hate to lose. You know, I don't like to lose at all. I want to win. And at the end of the night, I want to sit in my bed and say, did my teammates and did I get better?